Hello and welcome to another episode of Stunt Bunny Game. Okay, let's cut to the chase. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a little over a month away from release. And according to Masahiro Sakurai, the entire roster for the base game has at last been revealed. There are 77 characters in total, if you count Pokemon trainers, 3 characters, and include Piranha Plant in the base game. We'll take an in-depth look at each individual character, and here's how it's going to go. We're going to look at 4 factors. Firstly, their very first appearance in a video game. Secondly, their most recent appearance in a video game. Thirdly, their first appearance in a Smash game. And finally, how they compare from their first Smash appearance to their most recent Smash appearance. Beginning with the Super Mario Bros. Series, first up of course is the legendary gaming icon Mario. He first appeared in the 1981 arcade game Donkey Kong, and his most recent appearance was in Super Mario Party, released in 2018 for the Nintendo Switch. Mario was in the original Smash game for the N64, and has been in every Smash game since, being considered one of the most average fighters out there. Today, in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, some things about Mario have been updated to match with his more recent appearance in Switch games, such as including purple coins in his up B attack and giving him the wedding outfit in one of his palette swaps. In addition, there is now a new Donk City Hall stage added to the roster of stages. Luigi, Mario's younger brother, has always been trapped in the shadow of his older brother's immense popularity, but he has earned himself a few starring roles of his own in games such as Luigi's Mansion and New Super Luigi U. He made his very first appearance in the arcade NES game Mario Bros., released in 1983, and was also most recently seen as a playable character in Super Mario Party. Luigi is a very popular character, boasting moves such as the finicky side B green missile and a Meteor Smash taunt. His moveset hasn't really changed all that much since his appearance in the original N64 Smash game, though his final smash has changed from that weird, disturbing dance where everything turns negative to a powerful launching move using his Poltergust 3000 from Luigi's Mansion. Bowser, the dreaded Koopa King, made his first appearance in Super Mario Bros., released in 1985 for the NES, and is most recently a playable character in Super Mario Party. Believe it or not, Bowser was not in the first Smash game, but had to wait until Super Smash Bros. Melee to land his first blows. His final Smash and Brawl transformed him into Giga Bowser, who featured in the story mode of Melee, but not actually as a playable character. Now in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you can't actually roam the stage as Giga Bowser, but you instead must land one massive punch on your opponents to send them flying into the screen. Bowser Jr., Bowser's aggressive son, is back to fight once again in his clown car, with the 7 Koopalings as his palette swaps. Bowser Jr. first appeared in Super Mario Sunshine, released in 2002 for the GameCube, thinking Peach was his mother and stealing her away from Mario. He also is a playable character in Super Mario Party. He was first a playable fighter in Super Smash Bros. 4. Princess Peach, the just ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom, is back once again to display her wide variety of skills in the fields of gardening, golfing, tennis, and cooking. She made her first appearance in Super Mario Bros., the damsel in distress subject to Bowser's abuse. She's a playable character in Super Mario Party, unsurprisingly. Like Bowser, she first arrived as a playable character in Melee, making fantastic use of those smiling onion things that she magically pulls from the ground. Also, she isn't afraid of using Toad in battle as a defensive weapon. Princess Rosalina and her small Luma friend are back from SSB4, and she looks just as floaty as ever. She made her first appearance in Super Mario Galaxy, released in 2007 for the Wii, as the ruler of the Comet Observatory. Again, also a playable character in Super Mario Party. She uses her wand to control her Luma. Virtually nothing has changed for Rosalina between SSB4 and Ultimate. A brand new addition to the roster, Princess Daisy arrives as an Echo Fighter for Princess Peach. In the past, Princess Daisy was a color swap for Peach, but now she's a fully playable character. She first appeared in Super Mario Land, released for the Game Boy in 1989, as the damsel in distress to Ditanga the Mysterious Spaceman, and made her most recent appearance in Super Mario Party. Since Daisy is an Echo Fighter of Peach, their movesets are virtually identical. Dr. Mario, the persona Mario adopted when he decided to give the medical field a shot, made his first appearance in the aptly titled Dr. Mario, released in 1990 for the NES, and later the Game Boy. His most recent appearance is in SSB4 as a playable character, with a nearly identical moveset to Mario, though he's a little slower and slightly more powerful. His final smash also sends massive pixelated pills through the screen instead of fireballs. The last of the Super Mario Bros. Characters came as a real shocker to everyone, Piranha Plant. Seriously, one of the most iconic enemies in the Mario franchise, often confined to a green pipe stuck in the ground, is now a deadly potted plant bent on destruction and mass murder. He made his first appearance in Super Mario Bros., and his most recent appearance is in, can you guess? That's right, Super Mario Odyssey. Poison Piranha Plants are a capturable enemy in Odyssey. Anyway, Piranha Plant looks, so far, like an absolute beast. He can spit poison and spike balls, and his final smash is Petey Piranha. holding the cages from the first stage of Subspace Emissary from Brawl. Now we'll move on to characters from the Legend of Zelda franchise. First up is Link, the hero of time, hero of winds, Kokiri villager, Ordon ranch hand, Knight Academy student, Princess Roto's fiancé, and a million other titles. He first appeared in The Legend of Zelda, released in 1986 for the NES, and made his most recent appearance in Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, released in 2017 for the Switch. Link has been in Smash ever since the original, and uses iconic weapons in his fighting, such as the hookshot and bombs. Only now, the bombs are remote bombs from Breath of the Wild, and he wears his champion tunic instead of his regular green outfit, though that is an option. One of the new stages in Ultimate is the Great Plateau Tower, the first tower you activate in Breath of the Wild. Princess Zelda, sometimes ruler of Hyrule, sometimes daughter either of King Nohantz in Hyrule or King Bosphoramus, she made her first appearance in The Legend of Zelda, and her most recent appearance in Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. She arrived as a fighter in Melee, and has become a mainstay of the series since, in Brawl being combined with Sheik, and SSB4 being a character separate from Sheik, and now in Ultimate you can choose between the two. Zelda uses magic to her advantage, taking moves from Ocarina of Time such as Din's Fire and other sparkly moves. And now in Ultimate she wears her outfit from A Link Between Worlds. Ganondorf, sometimes the King of Evil, sometimes the Demon King. He made his first appearance as the beastly Ganon in the original Legend of Zelda, and made his most recent appearance as a playable character in Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Ganondorf was a newcomer in Melee, and took his physical appearance from Ocarina of Time, which is the case once again in Ultimate. Ganondorf is an extremely slow character, but has ridiculously powerful moves. Not a whole ton of his moves have changed from SSB to Ultimate, but Nintendo at last restored Ganondorf's popular appearance from Melee. Toon Link, the cat-eye version of Link who stars mainly in handheld Zelda games, is back once again. He made his first appearance in The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, released in 2002 for the GameCube, and made his most recent appearance in Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. He was first a fighter in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and has become a consistent fighter since. Young Link, the child of the Kokiri Forest, is returning. He made his first appearance in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, released in 1998 for the N64, and technically made his last appearance in The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, released only 2 years later in 2000 for the same console. Young Link appeared as a fighter only once in the whole Smash series, in Melee. Since then, he has not appeared until now. Not much has changed about this young hero, other than now his appearance is rendered in HD by Nintendo for the first time. Sheik, Princess Zelda's alter ego, is a fast, sneaky character with lots of shifty attacks and quick maneuvers. She made her first appearance in Ocarina of Time, and her most recent appearance in Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Sheik was first a fighter in Melee, making her debut at the same time as Zelda, and was briefly combined with her in Brawl. Moving on to the Star Fox series. First is Fox McCloud, who made his first appearance in Star Fox, released in 1993 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES. His most recent appearance isn't even in a Star Fox game, but is in Starlink Battle for Atlas, a unique game released in 2018 for the Switch. He was in the original Smash, a fast character who expertly utilized his blasters, shields, and speed in combat. His final Smash is no longer a Landmaster, but a cutscene that deals massive damage to opponents. Falco Lombardi, Fox's brash, cocky co-pilot, made his first appearance with Fox in Star Fox, and is also in Starlink. Falco was first a fighter in Melee, a favorite among hardcore players. He's an Echo fighter of Fox, so their movesets are nearly identical, though according to Falco's character, his moves are a lot flashier. Wolf O'Donnell, the vicious wolfen pilot who harasses Fox during his missions time and time again, first appeared in Star Fox 64, released in 1997 for the N64. He's a prevalent enemy in Starlink, rounding out the Star Fox cast in that game, along with Peppy and Slippy. Wolf is a strong fighter, first fighting in Brawl, then failing to appear in SSB4, then facing a comeback with the release of Ultimate. He's going to have his own amiibo upon the game's release on December 7th. Now the time has come to document the Pokemon. Just as a forewarning, I really am no good with Pokemon stuff, so correct me if I get any of the facts wrong, all you Poke people out there. Anyway, we have Pokemon Trainer, who is technically 3 characters in one, so we'll just treat him as 3 characters. First is Charizard the Fire Pokemon. He first appeared in Pokemon Red, released in 1996 for the Game Boy. In fact, he was the cover Pokemon for that game. Anyway, his most recent appearance is in Pokken Tournament DX. Charizard first appeared as a fighter in Brawl, then was a separate character in SSB4. Ivysaur is the second of the 3 Pokemon Trainer Pokemon, first appearing in Pokemon Red. He was combined with Charizard and Squirtle in Brawl, but then was not a playable character at all in SSB4 when Charizard moved on to bigger and better things, like being his own character. But now he's back and better than ever. Squirtle is the last of the 3 Pokemon Trainer Pokemon. He has the same story as Ivysaur, appearing so far only in Brawl and Ultimate. Pikachu, one of the world's most famous gaming icons, is a powerful electric-type Pokemon who was first captured in Pokemon Red. He was a fighter in the N64 Smash, and was granted an absolutely psycho final smash in Brawl, where he screams at the top of his lungs and flies around the stage as a massive ball of pulsing electricity. In Ultimate, you can now play as a female Pikachu, identified by the heart-shaped tail as opposed to the lightning-shaped one. Mewtwo, a dangerous, ruthless Pokemon with a tiny waist and massive thighs. Japan seems to like creatures with that shape. Anyway, Mewtwo made his first appearance in Pokemon Red, and his first fighter appearance in Melee. Then, to the huge disappointment of fans, Mewtwo was not present in Brawl. Due to the fans' fury, Masahiro Sakurai finally relented and included Mewtwo as a DLC character for SSB4. Now Mewtwo is a mainstay of the series, back to fight again in Ultimate. Incineroar, a brand new fighter, charges into the boxing ring for Ultimate. Apparently he's completely willing to fight for about 5 minutes, but then as soon as a few new opponents are introduced, he's totally exasperated. Anyway, Incineroar is a total crowd pleaser, posing every time he lands a successful attack. But the poses aren't without reason, however, as his boxing moves are quite powerful and devastating to opponents. He first appeared in Pokemon Sun Moon, released in 2016 for the 3DS, and has yet to appear in any other Pokemon games. Pichu, the notoriously weak character who appeared only once in Melee, is back once again in Ultimate. He first appeared in Pokemon Gold Silver, released in 1999 for the Game Boy Color, as a pre-evolution to Pikachu, and made his latest appearance in Pokemon Sun Moon. Since Pichu was not around for Brawl, or SSB4, he now has an all-new Final Smash, a move similar to Pikachu's. Also, Pichu's signature Backlash is back, wherein he damages himself when pulling off an especially powerful move. Lucario, look at that, another Pokemon with a tiny waist and massive thighs. What a shocker. Anyway, Lucario made his first appearance in Pokemon Diamond, released in 2006 for the Nintendo DS, and made his most recent appearance in Pokken Tournament DX for the Switch. He first fought in Brawl, and has been seen in Smash ever since, being seen as pretty average. His final Smash in Brawl saw him shoot a massive laser vertically across the stage that had very limited controls, but for SSB4, it was changed to a transformation into Mega Lucario X, which was essentially just Lucario on steroids. Greninja, look at that, another Pokemon with a tiny waist and massive thighs. And only 2 toes, just like Mewtwo. Are we seeing a pattern here? Well, either way, Greninja was first introduced to the universe of Pokemon in Pokemon XY, released in 2013 for the 3DS, and making his most recent appearance in Sun Moon. He first fought in SSB4, and is a water-type Pokemon that can throw ninja stars made of water and shoot geysers, also made of water. His final smash is a super flashy, sweet-looking move where he launches his opponent into the night sky in front of a huge moon, and then just starts wailing on him. Jigglypuff, the Jigglypuff of awesomeness, made her first appearance in Pokemon Red, and most recently in Sun Moon. She first appeared in Mew, where she was a decent fighter, but then she was severely underpowered in Brawl, then was upped again in SSB4. Hopefully that remains in Ultimate. On to Metroid. Samus is the protagonist of the Metroid series, first appearing in Metroid, released in 1986 for the NES, and making her most recent appearance in Metroid Samus Returns, released in 2017 for the 3DS. And according to recent teaser trailers, there is apparently a Metroid Prime 4 coming out for the Switch within the next couple years. Anyway, Samus is one of the most popular characters in Smash, first fighting in the original N64 game. Her moveset has not changed too much over the years, until Brawl, when her final Smash transformed her into Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus made her first appearance in Metroid Zero Mission, released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, and technically made her most recent appearance in SSB4, but the most recent Metroid game with her in it is Metroid Other M, released in 2010 for the Wii. Zero Suit Samus first fought in Brawl, but you could only fight as her if, while playing as Samus, you broke a Smash Ball. Then Zero Suit Samus' final smash was to transform back into regular Samus, which was the stupidest thing ever, one of the many reasons why Brawl was so disliked by fans. In SSB4, Samus and Zero Suit Samus were separated into different characters, and is now the case once again in Ultimate. Dark Samus, a vile creature composed of Phazon, is a brand new fighter to Smash, an Echo Fighter of Samus. Dark Samus made its first appearance in Metroid Prime, released in 2002 for the GameCube, and made her latest appearance in Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, released in 2007 for the Wii. In SSB4, Dark Samus was one of the color swaps for Samus. So far, Dark Samus looks identical to Samus in every way, except her moves seem more vicious and dark. Ridley, One of the most largely fan-requested characters for Smash is at long last a playable character, and one of the tallest characters too. Ridley first appeared in the original Metroid, and made his last appearance in Metroid Fusion, released in 2002 for the Game Boy Advance. Ridley is a dragon of massive proportions, and actually appeared in a Smash game before this one, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, as one of the bosses in the Subspace Emissary. Actually, he appeared twice, once as regular Ridley, and once again as Meta Ridley. In Ultimate, Ridley looks to be an extremely powerful, versatile character, with long-range, complicated moves that can be deadly in the right hands, including things like the Savage Tail Stab and Exploding Stomp. Kirby, the character that made Masahiro Sakurai famous. Kirby was the first character created by Sakurai, and decided to put him in the first Smash game, which he also created. Kirby was immediately a hit in the Smash community, especially with his iconic copying ability taken from the Kirby games. Kirby first appeared in Kirby's Dream Land, released in 1992 for the Game Boy, and his most recent appearance is in Kirby Star Allies, released in 2018 for the Switch. Kirby has been a favorite mainstay of the series ever since the N64. King Dedede, the Fat Duck of Legend. He made his first appearance in Kirby's Dream Land, and his most recent appearance is also in Star Allies. King Dedede fights with his massive hammer, but also attacks with his face sometimes, a move that never fails to amuse me. He first fought in Brawl, and had an odd combination of weight and height, in that he was a very heavy character, but could jump very high because of his floatiness. Also, his up B recovery is a risk. Fantastic height, but if you miss your platform, you come flying back down, usually to your death. It's both a recovery and an attack, but a risky one. Meta Knight, the flying swordsman who looks mysteriously like a dark color swap of Kirby, is back with his battleship Halberd. Meta Knight made his first appearance in Kirby's Dream Land and his most recent appearance in Kirby Star Allies. He first appeared as a fighter in Brawl, but his appearance was rather controversial. You see, Meta Knight was by far one of the most OP characters in the game. So overpowered in fact that he was banned from official tournaments. Eventually, Nintendo balanced Meta Knight out so he was more equal to the other characters, but it was yet another reason that Brawl was disliked by fans of the franchise. The Fire Emblem franchise is one of the most popular JRPG series out there, with hundreds of characters being developed just for those games. And our first character from that series is Marth, Prince of Altea, who made his first appearance in 1990's Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, released for the NES. He most recently is a fighter in the hack-and-slash game Fire Emblem Warriors, released in 2018 for the Switch. He appeared way back in Melee, as one of the only two Fire Emblem characters in the game. His moveset contains a multitude of extremely quick strikes and counters, making him a versatile character in the right hands. Ike, another strong swordsman, though in Fire Emblem Heroes one of his personality wields an axe. He made his first appearance in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, released in 2005 for the GameCube. His most recent appearance is in Fire Emblem Heroes, the iOS game released in 2017. Anyway, Ike was first a fighter in Brawl, wielding powerful, fiery moves that dealt much damage to opponents. And now, at last, he is finally fully voiced in English, so we can actually understand his victory dialogue. Lucina, who once disguised herself as Marth, is Marth's Echo Fighter, making their movesets nearly identical. She first appeared in Fire Emblem Awakening, released in 2013 for the 3DS, and most recently appeared in Fire Emblem Warriors. She made her debut in SSB4, harnessing similar moves as Marth, but with a few slight percentage differences. Chrom, the father of Lucina, is in essence an Echo Fighter of Roy, though he does have a few unique moves of his own. He first appeared in Fire Emblem Awakening, and made his most recent appearance in Fire Emblem Warriors, even having the honor of showing up on the game's cover. Chrom is a brand new fighter to the series, though his future appearance was hinted at the very end of Lucina's reveal trailer from SSB4, saying that maybe next time he would be able to fight. Roy was the other of the two playable Fire Emblem characters in Melee. He made his first appearance in Fire Emblem The Binding Blade, released in 2002 for the Game Boy Advance, and shockingly is not in Fire Emblem Warriors, but made his most recent appearance in Fire Emblem Heroes. Roy was an immensely popular character in Melee, and then for some reason disappeared from the roster of Brawl. He didn't reappear until SSB4, and even then he wasn't in the base game but was a DLC character. Masahiro Sakurai finally got around to understanding the desires of the fans, and is now a playable character in the base game of Ultimate. Corrin, an odd, barefoot character who has both a male and female version, and the reason for that was because he or she was a customizable character that the player played as in Fire Emblem. He first, or she first, whatever it is, first appeared in Fire Emblem Fates, released in 2016 for the 3DS, and is now in Fire Emblem Warriors. Corrin was another DLC character for SSB4, and had the longest side smash reach of all the characters. He also has an epic final smash called Torrential Roar, where he transforms into a dragon and blasts his opponents away. Robin was the customizable player character from Fire Emblem Awakening, which means that he also has a male and female version. Making his latest appearance in Fire Emblem Warriors, Robin first fought in SSB4, using a variety of magic-based attacks, such as Elwind and Firewall. Not much has changed for Robin from SSB4 to Ultimate, but he is still a very powerful character. He also rounds out the Fire Emblem characters for this game, putting the final count at 7 Fire Emblem fighters in Ultimate. Kid Icarus has always been a pretty weird franchise, with weird characters like Eggplant Pit and Pseudo Palutena. Anyway, let's start things out with Pit. He made his first appearance in Kid Icarus, released in 1986 for the NES, which was unique in that most of the levels went up and down as opposed to side to side. Pit technically made his most recent appearance in SSB4, but the most recent Kid Icarus game is Kid Icarus Uprising, released in 2012 for the 3DS. He made his first fighter appearance in Brawl, as a character with remarkable recovery ability, speedy attacks, and a really weird jogging style. Now, in Ultimate, he's as jacked up as ever. Dark Pit, also called Pitu, is Pit's Echo Fighter. He made his first appearance in Kid Icarus Uprising, and was most recently in SSB4. He was introduced at the very end of Palutena's reveal video. His moves are just like Pit's, but more aggressive and powerful. Palutena, the Goddess of Light, was first a fighter in SSB4, with an anime-style reveal trailer and a multitude of magic-based moves, such as targeting attacks and reflector shields, which are apparently completely ineffective against crazy Master Hand lasers. Palutena made her first appearance in the original Kid Icarus, and made her most recent Kid Icarus appearance in Uprising. Palutena actually showed up in Pit's final smash from Brawl, and as a supporting character in Subspace Emissary, but wasn't a playable character until SSB4. Donkey Kong, the game that made Shigeru Miyamoto and the rest of Nintendo famous. As one could easily find out, Donkey Kong made his first appearance in Donkey Kong as a barrel-throwing villain who first captured Pauline, and for more stuff about that, watch episode 6. Anyway, Donkey Kong made his most recent appearance as a playable character in Super Mario Party. DK is a strong character with a ton of high percentage moves and throws. He first fought in the original N64 Smash, and has become a mainstay of the series since. Diddy Kong made his first appearance in Donkey Kong Country, released in 1994 for the SNES. His most recent appearance is also Super Mario Party. Diddy Kong first appeared in Brawl, retaining many of his famous moves such as the barrel jetpack and his peanut pop guns. Not much has changed from his moveset in Brawl to now in Ultimate, but he's still a comical character that everyone should try. Brand new to the Smash Bros. Roster is King K. Rool, a cruel king who made his first appearance in Donkey Kong Country, and his most recent appearance a long time ago in Donkey Kong 64, released in 1999 for the N64. King K. Rool was the boss of many a Donkey Kong game back in the day, but once the Donkey Kong Country series was revived for the Wii, King K. Rool was nowhere to be seen, being replaced by giant tikis and polar bears. Anyway, King K. Rool looks to be an immensely powerful character in Smash, retaining many famous moves such as his crown throw and helicopter recovery. If there was one character I couldn't wait to play as, it would be this Master of Evil. Everyone loves Villager, with his vast range of unique color swaps and his smiling Lloyd rocket. He made his first appearance in the Japan-only release Dobutsu no Mori, which translates to Animal Forest, released in 2001 for the N64. His most recent appearance is in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, released in 2017 for iOS devices. Villager first fought in SSB4, with an extremely unique moveset, such as pocketing items that were thrown at him, and dropping bowling balls on opponents' heads. Another newcomer to the series, the extremely popular Isabelle, who's obsessed over on a whole different level in the Animal Crossing community, is finally a fighter. She first appeared in Animal Crossing New Leaf, released in 2013 for the 3DS, and ever since, her introduction to the franchise in that series has been adored by fans. She appeared as an assist trophy in SSB4, throwing healing fruit to the player who summoned her, and then vanishing. On to the dark and depressing Earthbound series. Ness, the protagonist of the series, first appeared in Earthbound, released in 1994 for the SNES. His most recent appearance as a playable character is in SSB4, though Mother 3 was the most recent Earthbound game. Ness first appeared in the original N64 Smash, wielding unique weapons such as yo-yos and a baseball bat, and using them with great prowess. Ness was a fan favorite among hardcore players, and not much about him changed throughout the years. Lucas, the timid young boy who's often overshadowed by Ness, made his first appearance in the aforementioned Mother 3, released in 2006 for the Game Boy Advance. Lucas first appeared as a fighter in Brawl, as an Echo Fighter of Ness, and then was mysteriously removed from the base game roster in SSB4, resulting in a similar situation as Roy from Fire Emblem. Lucas was eventually reintroduced as a DLC character, ready to fight once again. Ryu was the character who really made the arcade fighting games famous, through Capcom's Street Fighter series. Ryu first appeared in Street Fighter, released to arcades everywhere in 1987. His most recent appearance is in the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, released in 2018 for the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Ryu first fought in SSB4 as a DLC character. Not only did he receive a new moveset for his appearance in a Smash game, but he also retains all his traditional inputs from the old school Street Fighter games, giving him far more moves than any other character in the game. And now in Ultimate, Ryu always faces his opponents in one-on-one battles, massively reducing accidental command inputs. Ken finally arrives on the scene, as the powerful Echo Fighter to Ryu. He also first appeared in Street Fighter, and most recently appeared in the 30th Anniversary Collection. Because Ken is Ryu's Echo Fighter, many of their moves are nearly identical, but something unique to Ken is that he actually has 2 Final Smashes, depending on how close he is to his opponent when the Final Smash is activated. Introduced in SSB4, Mii Fighters were customizable characters that were based on the Miis you created on your Wii U or 3DS console. They came in 3 categories: Mii Sword Fighter, Mii Gunner, and Mii Brawler. Miis were first introduced to the world in the Mii channel in 2006, found in the Wii Startup menu. In SSB4, the categories of fighters were customized to the user's preference. Brawlers were well suited for up-close and personal fighters, Gunners were good for long-range attacks, and Sword Fighters were a versatile mix of both. Now, in Ultimate, the only thing that's really changed about them is that their proportions have been adjusted to look more realistic. At long last, the pleas of the fans have finally been heard. Castlevania characters have been introduced to the Smash series. The first fighter is Simon Belmont, who made his first appearance in Castlevania, released in 1986 for the SNES, and his most recent appearance is in Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2, released in 2014 for the PS4 and Xbox One. Also, if that for some reason isn't actually correct, please correct me. I'm not that great with the Castlevania series. Simon retains many of his moves from the classic series, such as Holy Water and Axe Throw, and he wields his iconic Chain Whip. His final smash is the deadly Grand Cross. Simon's Echo Fighter is Richter Belmont, or is Simon Richter's Echo Fighter? It's really quite difficult to tell. Anyway, Richter is virtually identical to Simon in every way, besides a few percentage differences in moveset appearances. He first appeared in Dracula X, Rondo of Blood, released in 1993 for the SNES, and most recently appeared in Castlevania Requiem, released in 2018 for the PS4. Richter is undoubtedly going to be a very heavily used character come December 7th. And now we move on to some miscellaneous characters. They are miscellaneous because only one fighter comes from a specific series instead of multiple. Mega Man, everyone's favorite blue bomber from Capcom, is back from SSB4 to fight again. He made his first appearance in Mega Man, alternately titled Rockman, released in 1987 for the NES. His most recent appearance is in the widely acclaimed Mega Man 11, released in 2018 for the Switch. Mega Man takes a lot of his moves from his previous games, such as Flame Blast and Metal Blade. His side smash is ridiculously weak, though many of his other attacks and recoveries are top-notch. Pac-Man, the character who made video games famous, and whose design was based off a partially eaten pizza, is back once again, using moves such as throwing level sprites and following pellet paths. Pac-Man made his first appearance in Pac-Man, released in 1980 to arcades, and made his most recent appearance in Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, released in 2016 for the PS4 and Xbox One, and in 2018 for the Switch. Pac-Man first fought in SSB4, using a very unique moveset that brought to mind many of the previous Pac-Man games, and now in Ultimate, one of the sprites is a pixelated Mappy from the Mappy series. Wii Fit Trainer. Possibly the most random character Nintendo could have chosen to put in a Smash game, Wii Fit Trainer is an athletic yoga master who made her first appearance in Wii Fit, released in 2007 for, you guessed it, the Wii. Her most recent appearance was a playable fighter in SSB4, which was her first time fighting in the series. Not much has changed about her moveset from one game to the next, but she has a more realistic face than last time, which is great, I guess. Wario, the fat antagonist from Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, released in 1992 for the Game Boy, made his most recent appearance as a playable character in Super Mario Party. Wario first fought in Brawl, utilizing such crass and unique weapons such as mushroom cloud farts and motorcycle parts, and transforming into Wario Man when breaking a Smash Ball. Back in Brawl and SSB4, transformational final smashes, such as Wario Man, were controlled by the character using typical enhanced controls. However, in SSBU, this is no longer the case, and as a result, Wario's final smash has changed significantly. Rob, which stands for Robotic Operating Buddy, isn't actually a character who starred in a video game, but rather is an external entertainment apparatus that can perform very basic functions like stacking blocks. Rob made his first appearance as the Robotic Operating Buddy way back in 1985, hooked up to the Famicom Disk System, or NES. His most recent appearance as a major character was in SSB4, making his first fighter appearance in Brawl. Not much has changed about Rob for Ultimate, besides the fact that you can now see how much gas he has left in his tank when performing his up B recovery move. Ice Climbers. The complicated duo that can be quite devastating to opponents in the right hands is back all the way from Melee. The Ice Climbers made their first appearance in Ice Climbers, released in 1985 for the NES, and haven't really showed up in any other games since. The Ice Climbers were playable characters in both Melee and Brawl, but much to the disappointment of the fans, Nana and Popo were cut from SSB4 due to hardware limitations. But they're back and better than ever for Ultimate, and it's critical that they work together in this game, because if you lose Nana, then you're pretty much done for. Their return also means Summit is back in the stage roster. Shulk, apprentice in the Monado Arts, made his first appearance in the original Xenoblade Chronicles, released for the Wii in 2010 in Japan and 2012 in the US. His most recent appearance was in Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, released in 2015 for the 3DS. Shulk made his first fighter appearance in SSB4, using the Monado Arts to his advantage. There are 5 arts in total, increasing the 5 primary stats, such as speed, power, or jump. Now the Monado Arts can be accessed much easier in Ultimate, as opposed to the multiple button press system used in SSB4. Yoshi, the adorable egg-laying dinosaur, is apparently so unimportant that he and Luigi were made a joke out of in one of the Smash Directs. Anyway, Yoshi made his first appearance in Super Mario World, released in 1991 for the SNES, and made his most recent appearance as yet another playable character in Super Mario Party. Yoshi first fought in the original N64 Smash game, and has been in every Smash game since, using lots of moves involving his iconic green and white eggs. Now we have Solid Snake, a hugely requested fighter by fans, who got their wish in Brawl. He was a totally OP character in that game, who really didn't get balanced that well since he could completely cancel out an opponent's attacks, and could shoot missiles that were controlled by the player, and had a massive up B recovery. Hopefully Snake is balanced out a little better in Ultimate. Anyway, Solid Snake made his first appearance in Metal Gear, released in 1987 for the really weird and relatively obscure MSX2 console. His most recent appearance was in Metal Gear Survive, released in 2018 for the Xbox One and PS4. Snake mysteriously disappeared from the SSB4 roster, but now he's making a return in Ultimate, much to the hype of fans. Captain Falcon made his first appearance in F-Zero, released in 1990 for the SNES, and made his most recent appearance in a game belonging to that franchise in F-Zero Climax, released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. He's most recently a playable character in SSB4, though the series was most recently referenced to in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, released in 2017 for the Switch, as 2 courses in the DLC content originally available for the original Mario Kart 8. Captain Falcon is fast, a strong hitter, and has one of the wildest attitudes you'll ever see in a Smash character. His taunts include a lot of entertaining lines, and he was Lucina's opponent in her reveal trailer. The Inkling Fighters, complete with all their various weapons and outfits, are in Ultimate, making their first appearance as Smash Fighters in this game. They first appeared in Splatoon, released in 2015 for the Wii U, and made their most recent appearance in Splatoon 2, released in 2017 for the Switch. The Splatoon fighters retain all their crazy ink-filled weapons from the aforementioned games, such as the roller and the ink brush. Unique to this character is that inked opponents will actually receive more damage when attacked by the Inkling of that same color. Each palette swap is also an individual color, so there can be a whole lot of colors on the stage if 8 Inklings go up against each other in a match. Sonic the Hedgehog, Mario's eternal rival, is faster than ever in this new installment of Smash. Sonic made his first appearance in the aptly titled Sonic the Hedgehog, released in 1991 for the Sega Mega Drive. His most recent appearance was in Sonic Mania, released in 2017 for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Sonic is by far the fastest character in the game, nothing more than a blue blur when sprinting across the stage, or a gold blur when using his final smash. Bayonetta, the gunslinging witch from the dark shadow of Umbran Tower, returns to fight with her ridiculous high-heel guns once again. Bayonetta made her first appearance in Bayonetta, released in 2009 for the Wii U, PS3, and Xbox 360, and made her most recent appearance in Bayonetta 2, released in 2014 for the Wii U, and later came bundled with the original for the Switch. And apparently there's a Bayonetta 3 coming out sometime in the future for the Switch. Bayonetta first fought as a DLC character for SSB4, and was absolutely, without a doubt, one of the most broken and overpowered characters in the whole franchise, even more so than Meta Knight or Snake. And this was all because of her outrageous hitboxes, which extended far outside her actual physical appearance, and her crazy repetitive up B, which could just continuously hammer an opponent, creating an inescapable pit of doom. Olimar, the cute little astronaut guy who's super timid and can't really do much of anything right, made his first appearance in Pikmin, released in 2001 for the GameCube, which was developed by Shigeru Miyamoto, the same guy who also single-handedly created Super Mario Bros., The Legend of Zelda, and Star Fox. Anyway, Olimar's most recent appearance was in Hey Pikmin, released in 2017 for the 3DS. In Brawl, where Olimar first fought, he was pretty weak and nobody really wanted to use him. He was balanced out a little more in SSB4, but still wasn't the greatest. And now in Ultimate, he's way, way better, because his helmet cracks when he gets hit and takes damage. Oh, okay then. Yeah, that's just wonderful. Way to just really up Olimar's stats, Nintendo. That is just so excellent. Great job. Next is Little Mac. He made his first appearance in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, released in 1984 to arcades. His most recent appearance was in Doc Louie's Punch-Out!, released in 2009 for the Wii, in which Donkey Kong actually makes a cameo appearance. Anyway, Little Mac was most recently a playable fighter in SSB4, where he first fought in a Smash game. Little Mac harnessed some really, really powerful strikes, though he couldn't jump if his life depended on it. Kind of reminds me of Toad in Super Mario Bros. 2. Little Mac also fills up a KO bar by fighting and taking damage, and once it's full, he can press the B button to perform a one-hit kill strike on a nearby opponent, almost guaranteeing him a point. Duck Hunt, this odd combination of dog and duck, appeared only once in Nintendo's history, in a game called Duck Hunt, released in 1984 for the NES. Another totally random character for Nintendo to put in a Smash game, Duck Hunt first fought in SSB4, making excellent use of each other's qualities to make for a dynamic duo, similar to Ice Climbers. The last character for this video is Mr. Game & Watch, a completely two-dimensional character who first fought in Brawl. Mr. Game & Watch took on a variety of forms when he first appeared in a series of games developed for the Game & Watch, a handheld gaming system developed by Gunpei Yokoi, the same man who developed the Game Boy and the Virtual Boy that came out even before the NES did. In Brawl and SSB4, Mr. Game & Watch sucked as a character, especially his virtually useless Final Smash, where he turned into an immovable octopus that could be easily avoided by anyone. Now, Mr. Game & Watch's Final Smash is a whole lot more straightforward, and another very amazing addition to this character is the facial expressions he assumes when attacking opponents. Another completely random point that for some reason was chosen to be included in the Nintendo Directs. Overall though, Mr. Game & Watch looks to be a pretty solid option in Ultimate.
So, thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to the channel. I will be making a lot more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate videos in the months to come, and hopefully I hope to get a screen recorder at some point so that I can actually record myself playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, like everybody, all the other YouTubers out there will be doing. So thank you again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you next time on Somebody Gaming.
Farewell.